Hello, I'm Ruth Morris, a designer maker based in Mullen, Highland, Perthshire. I'm going to talk a bit about what inspires me and a little of my artistic process. I have my own label, Ruby Doo, and I design and make clothing, accessories and homeware. I'm also a lecturer at Dundee and Angus College in Textiles Department and run workshops myself and for bodies such as Pitlochry AEA, Zero Waste Perth and Perthshire Creates. My artistic journey began in the islands as a child and has ended up in the Highlands, which are my home today. On the left you can see me in the little pink pom-pom hat, watching crofter Angus MacDonald clip his sheep. We holidayed on his croft every summer in the Hebrides till I was about 10. This is where I connected with Harris Tweed, one of the fabrics I used when I started my label over 20 years ago. The Campbells are an iconic family of Harris Tweed weavers, photographed here at Plotcrapool on the Golden Road on Harris, and I purchased my tweed from Catherine Campbell in Tarbert today. The Hebrides is all about beautiful beaches, which are vast white sands and empty. I'm always encouraging folk to go. This is Dalmore, Luscantire and Valtos. The weather can often be this beautiful, particularly with 4 seasons in a day. At some point the sun might pop out. And the sea breeze keeps the midges away. Beachcombing is my favourite pastime. As a child we hunted for cowrie shells as the tide ebbed, leaving banks of shells brought by the North Atlantic drift. We went home and filled our 1970s style bedside lamp bases, which we still have and use today. Dalmore Rocks, another favourite beach. Here I'm struck by bands of colour. Lichen with sea pinks, white barnacle in the middle, and seaweed and kelp base. Here I'm recording colour combinations, patterns and looking at shapes. The sea froth, almost like lace, and the raw edges of a piece of cloth. I like to research books, visit heritage centres, collect images of memorabilia such as a blue and white striped jug on an old dresser in the Arnold Blackhouse Museum on Lewis. I'm looking for patterns and developing pen and ink sketches, then trying to incorporate these into line drawings of garments, which I do in pencil, heavily annotated with my thought processes, which record my ideas. I won't necessarily make them all. I have lots of ideas and pick 1 or 2 to make. Arranging, organising and collections. Slow, methodical, I seem to find a meditative zone. Nature plays a big part, but equally man-made objects that I find and the juxtaposition of them. Sea glass, a bright yellow plastic bead alongside a mermaid's purse and upturned limpets. I would on my desk arrange pocket structures that have rounded soft edges, a bit like the weather-beaten pieces of driftwood that I find. Sea anemones is a direct link here with the sea anemones in rock pools, using scraps of tweed, which I cut, stitch and wash. I don't throw anything away, like the tumbling tentacles in a tidal rock pool. This inspired my sea anemone phase, which I've replicated as placements within garments and as surface decoration in the form of brooches, cushions and reupholstered chairs. This is a process I've spent a lot of time formulating, but even now it still turns out completely random when I take it out of the machine. Calmac ferries, another direct colour and silhouette link. Here you can see the funnel and the railings, and again childhood memories and all that it conjures up in my mind. The journey from the mainland to the islands, the smell of oil, rust, sea spray and layers of paint, always black, red and white, incorporated into a Harris Tweed skirt here photographed up on Mullen Moor. Foam boxes and their numbers. The Croft and Tobson that we stayed on had one in the garden, and I almost have one now just over the burn in Mullen where I live. They're a beacon, lit up at night. I developed drawings from my photographs and screen printed a series onto second-hand t-shirts last summer, which sold as part of the Pitlochry Art Walk. Other iconic images I developed included the Passing Place sign and a sea urchin drawing. Foam boxes also featured in my collection for Dundee Fashion Week 2018 in the Caird Hall, printed onto organic cotton handmade tops and sweaters, teamed with gingham and red denim. The phone number is very important and is printed onto the back neck. The Tobson phone box was a lifeline for its community. I have heaps of photographs of phone box from all over Scotland at the moment. Moving on, sea urchins. Sea urchins I developed almost 15 years ago, inspired mostly by the small chips of sea urchin shell that you find when you're beachcombing. Little jewels of colours from red to pink to purples. Occasionally you find a whole one if you're lucky. This is a line drawing that I've scanned and manipulated in Photoshop and then either had digitally printed or I've hand screen printed it onto a variety of fabrics and pieces. Here the orange is inspired by the orange fisherman's boy, and I photographed it on Mullen Moor, what I like to think of as our Highland lacquer. Storm debris on the forest floor, the amount of trees where I live here in the Highlands. This lichen-covered branch or twig that litters the woodland path, I look closely at as I walk past. My beachcombing habits mean that I come home daily from dog walks with handfuls of nature. And a bit like the changing tide, the changing seasons are as, if not more important to me here. Here I'm choosing colours, arranging in miniature, and this is my pattern to follow in full scale to make a blanket. This is my favourite bench in Pitlochry, just down from the Coke. My artistic process continues as I go on to place my products and then photograph them. I find this as enjoyable as making them and as equally important. Photography is so important in the presentation of my finished work as it is in the creation process for me. It's a big part of what I do, and I'm very proud of my photographs. The joy of finding, here we go, river glass, husks, seeds, pottery shards on the shore of Loch Tay. I'm still collecting and arranging. This slide, I feel, sums me up. Inspiration is all around me. Right now we've yellow flag iris at Dunmore Loch, and I'm waiting for a hot day to search for electric blue damselflies. The bog cotton will soon be out, and I'll keep looking for river glass in the Highlands. You can find all information about me on my website, rubydew.com. Thanks for listening.